Hi, I'm Russ Ouellette from Pipesandcigars.com, and today I'd like to talk to you about Perique. Perique is a unique tobacco and it's steeped in tradition. Native Americans in Louisiana would ferment tobacco by packing it in logs. A gentleman by the name of Pierre Chenet noticed the process and replicated it himself. The result is a very rich tobacco that's heavily fermented. Perique is both a tobacco and a process. The tobacco is an offshoot of burley, and it's only grown in one small area in St. James Parish, Louisiana, known as the Golden Triangle. The tobacco is taken from the field, stripped, twisted into bunches, and packed into whiskey barrels, and placed under a lot of pressure using jack screws. When the pressure is applied to the tobacco, it forces the juices out of the leaf, and those juices begin to ferment. Every 90 days, the tobacco is removed from the barrels, and then it's turned so that the fermentation is even. When the barrels are repacked, the pressure is applied once again, and this is done for a total of a year. Once it's done, the tobacco comes out almost black, very moist, and incredibly fragrant. Perique is a slow-burning tobacco. It has a deep fruitiness and a pepperiness to it. When you combine it with other tobaccos, that combination can accent one characteristic or the other. One of the problems with Perique is that it's a relatively fragile tobacco. Heavy rains, winds, too much heat can destroy an entire year's crop. So about 40 years ago, the owner of the LA Pochet Perique Company decided to bring in dark air-cured tobacco from other areas of the United States. They processed it exactly the same way as they do Perique, and then they combined it with the actual St. James Perique to create something new called Acadian Perique. This was a great benefit as it made sure that there was going to be sufficient crops every year. Up until a little over 10 years ago, Perique was an endangered crop. There were only a few farmers left growing it, and many manufacturers were concerned that there wasn't going to be enough Perique for them to be able to make their blends. Luckily for the industry, Mark Ryan, the owner of Daughters and Ryan Tobacco, purchased the LA Pochet Perique Company, and he decided to increase the pay of the farmers. He also decided to modernize the operation. And now, in a little more than a decade, there are 11 farmers growing Perique, and there's more than sufficient supply for everyone who wants to use it. I'm Russ Ouellette from Pipesandcigars.com, and that's a little bit about Perique.